when cocky fighters get destroyed. It should be in every fighter's playbook to never celebrate a victory too early. They're arrogant. They're overly proud. They're sometimes rather questionable. Cocky fighters are some of the worst types of opponents to have in the ring. But it's their undeniable defeat that brings us so much satisfaction. Hey there everyone, and welcome to Brutal TV. You see that subscribe button there? Go ahead and click and stay up to date to all the new videos that we have in store for you. For now, let's jump right in and watch these cocky fighters get destroyed. Number 1. Don't act tough at the weigh-in and then have to back out of the transaction. This fighter thought he was going to be the victor here in this match, and by the time his opponent was done delivering those head hooks, this guy had to take a knee and give up mid-fight. Number 2. Rule number 1, keep your guard up. A rule that this fighter chose to not only ignore, but decided to make some taunting kissing faces to his opponent. It's as though the opponent in the blue shorts understood exactly what he was asking for, because he translated that into preparing a plate full of fists and kicks. The blue fighter delivered more blows straight to his opponent's doorstep like it was a DoorDash order with an extra tip. It took one good hook straight to the jaw that sent this cocky one down. Side of pickles and hold the kisses. Number 3. Now we are taking this one out of the conventional arena and into the virtual arena. This guy is upset. Why, you may ask? The story goes that this guy was getting trash talked online and was just not happy with what was said to him. So what did he do? He challenged the keyboard warrior to a fight to the finish.
So I went on Twitter, called this guy out, called him a has-been, called him a face, Charles Manson, anything you could think of. This dude looks like a fucking zombie out of The Walking Dead. Then he comes here dressed like he got his outfit out of fucking Target. So as simple as that, I made a video. The first guy I could think of on why gamers were single was Viscount. This dude looks like he lives in his basement. He looks like he never gets sun. He could possibly be a fucking vampire.
But he lost. Yep, he lost. And he lost embarrassingly to the young lad. But what's even greater is the comeback. Listen closely.
So, there's gonna come a point when you forget about what happened, and you're gonna wanna come back at me. And you're gonna wanna wash the taste of my out of your mouth.
That's a power combo right there. Number 4. It's okay to be confident as a fighter or whatever your craft is. Be proud. But when you're so cocky that you take it this far, to offend the lifestyle of your opponent, be ready to accept the consequences of your actions. Over and over.
Because he doesn't speak English like the whole world, but a few fans on Facebook told me, I don't give a what he thinks, what he says. I'm gonna knock that bit haircut of his head in Saturday night. That's Justin Bieber here he got.
This guy decided to announce his own defeat as he made the next cutting gesture. We wonder what was possibly going through his head, because we surely know what wasn't. He takes a beating blow after blow, round after round, and eventually he has to just lay there and accept defeat as the life drains from his body. The ref steps in as the cocky fighter taps out. Ah, sweet relief. Number 5. It's one thing to underestimate your opponent. It's another thing to overestimate yourself. If you don't know this guy, it's Bryce Hall, TikToker and YouTuber. Nowhere in his history was he titled as a trained fighter, but his confidence led him to convince himself and his team that he was ready to take on his opponent. Going in, for almost 30 seconds, he was doing okay. If okay was code word for not completely getting killed, then yes, he was doing okay. Later on in the fight, you see him almost look as though he gives up. There is no more guarding of the head, no more power punches being attempted. It's like watching a small tugboat slowly sink in the vast ocean waters. Nighty-night there, Brycey. Number 6. Talk about underestimating your opponent. Just because you're a professional fighter doesn't mean that you can win any fight against someone who doesn't take on the title of a trained fighter. Here you find this fight between an MMA fighter and a prisoner. Yes, a prisoner. Now, what we know about prisoners is that they have time to do one thing, and they can do that one thing over and over and over. And fighting for their survival comes with the territory. The prisoner goes into the ring and dominates all over this so-called pro fighter, leaves him blood-beaten, battered, and very, very torn. Number 7. Age is more than a number, it can also be a target. This older gent you see circling around the young lad chose to try and show him a thing or two after being a pestering bully. But the great thing about us here at Brutal TV is that we bring you satisfying videos. And what would make this even more satisfying to watch? Seeing this older gentleman get what he deserves. You can see the calm demeanor in the young jiu-jitsu fighter. He is not bothered and unfazed by his opponent. He knows exactly what he needs to patiently wait for. And it was right at that moment that the older guy slipped up and went down to the mat and had to surrender. Happened at the speed of light. Patience, grasshopper. Number 9. Social media must be the one go-to place that cocky people feel most powerful. Oh wait, they have a term for that already. Anywho, Billy Joe. And with a name like Billy Joe, you know this is going to be worth it. Billy Joe Saunders took to the online world and trash-talked his opponent.
Canelo is a pussy who vacated his WBC middleweight title. A little ginger pussy.
He chose to be vicious in his word choice, trashing his opponent's name, his life, and everything about him. Canelo showed this guy a thing or two when that bell rang, landing some of the most powerful punches that Billy Joe ever had to face. Canelo landed blows to this arrogant talkbox that sent him stumbling to hold on for his dear life. Number 10. It's something about the rogue behavior of a street fight that is so entertaining. The fighters just have no care for the environment around them. The problem this creates, however, are very overly zealous people who believe that they can hold their own with a professional fighter. This guy here looks like a prime example of cocky. You see the street fighter taking a guarded position that looks as if it's from a cartoon. And add to that, he throws his punches around like an English woman hitting a would-be thief on the head with her purse. It was inevitable for him to get rocked exactly like this, over and over and over. We can't protect those overly confident fighters from their dumb, but we can make sure we protect you from boredom. Hit that subscribe and like button to stay up to date on each of the videos we have in store for you. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.